And we are now joined by Chase Elliott, driver of the number 9 Napa Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. Chase, you're coming off a pretty big win. How was your week?
Yeah, my week was good. Stayed, had some things scheduled actually before all that, so it was good. Nice, busy week. Always good to come off a win, and looking forward to this one. It's been a not so good place for us over the really since I started coming up here. So looking forward to another opportunity, and trying to get a little better up here.
We'll go ahead and open up for questions. We'll start here in the middle with Doug.
Hey, Chase. Doug Turnbull, PRN. I saw an Instagram post from you a couple days ago out on the softball field. I know this isn't X's and O's and a racing question, but is there a little softball league up there in Dawsonville, or just out there playing with some friends, or what?
Yeah, I've been playing last, 4 or 5 years, every summer. So, yeah, enjoy it. It's fun. No.
Additional questions for Chase? We'll go right here to David.
Nathan Son with the podium finish. Chase, obviously a good stretch for you lately. First driver to 3 wins with the next-gen car. Does that feel significant?
Yeah, look, wins in any car is good if it's got the Cup Series logo on it, so that's good. For us, I feel like we've just been, we just had a good few weeks, and this is a sport that'll humble you really fast. So, when you come off a good week, that doesn't guarantee the next one's going to go that good again. So, I've been down that road, and just kind of ride the wave. Look, it's been a good wave. You want to try to ride it best you can and make it last as long as possible. Inevitable that it's going to go the other direction at some point. So, look, just try to ride it, whatever it brings. Try to stay middle of the road and make sure we're still learning and putting ourselves in the best position possible for the final 10. That to me is the key. Those playoff points and bonus points that you can accumulate to be ready for that is really the goal, and that's the most important piece of the puzzle. So anything we can do to better our chances and better our odds for those last 10 is really what's top of mind for us. And the best way to do that is compete for wins, and we've been fortunate to do that for a few weeks. Hopefully we can do that again, up here, and if not, we'll fight for whatever the day can give us.
And in terms of shifting, do you think it'll be similar at all to Gateway, or do you think that maybe a road course type racer could have an advantage with all the shifting?
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to be shifting. I don't know, whoever came up with the transaxle must not realize 5 was too many. I don't know, but five's too many for us, I'm afraid, for most of these tracks that we go to. But it really doesn't make a difference. I just kind of think it's unnecessary. A lot of these places, it's like, does it really matter? No. I don't really care, one way or the other. But I don't really think we should be, at ovals. But we'll definitely be shifting here at least once, probably twice, in some scenarios.
We'll go to Matthew.
Matthew Warren with YankeeRacer.com. Chase, you went to a short track the other night, I believe, and ran a race. Brad Keselowski went to Thunder Road on Thursday. Tyler Reddick went to Lee last night to run a short track race. What do you think it says about racing as a whole right now, where you guys and other drivers from the NASCAR series are going back to grassroots and supporting those local short tracks?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. To me, it's just the will to want to race, I think, is cool, and I appreciate that. And you want to see the health of short track racing continue to grow. And I think anytime you can hop in there and make an impact is great. But to me, it's not just like, when I go do that stuff, I don't go do it because I feel like I'm gonna change it. I do it because I enjoy it. And I respect the discipline, and I want to learn the discipline, and I want to be better at whatever it is I'm going to run. And to me, that natural desire and will and interest to learn is what is going to fuel it. Because if we're interested, then other people could potentially be interested too. But it's not necessarily because you can make a difference. It's just the respect of a discipline, I think, is what is really cool about it. And I think there's a lot of respect for other disciplines in this garage right now.
We'll go to Dustin and then to Pat.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. Kind of continuing on that with that natural desire to learn. I'm curious, even in your period of being in Cup, how the schedule has changed. and now the talk of a street course race, next year, how that the discipline of being a driver has changed, and how are you challenged in the sense of, it's not the same schedule year after year for 10 years, but how much are you having to learn, or what's still the challenge, or how is the schedule challenging you even as a champion driver at this point in your career?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not, it's refreshing to go to different places. It's refreshing to not do the same thing every year. Granted, I think that there are dates that it is important for it to match up on a certain calendar month due to the significance of it, and I like that. The certain events, the Coca-Cola 600 in May, for example. But I do think there are some events on our schedule that can certainly get stale, and it's nice to go somewhere different. It is challenging from a driver standpoint and from a team standpoint to tackle a new place, especially one you've never been to. As you mentioned, a street course. But a good opportunity to have an event, inside of a big city like Chicago, and potentially have have a good crowd and introduce people to our sport that likely wouldn't make the hour drive out to Chicagoland. And to me, that's the challenge with our sport. Is just most places we go, you're 45 minutes to an hour and a half outside every big city, and I think it is different and unique to potentially have one that's not that. And that to me is where the focus should be in making it a good event, and an exciting event, one that fans will enjoy and want to come back to and genuinely have fun with.
We'll go to Pat. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dustin.
So I just from a driver's point of view, a challenge, how much of a street course, and again, you don't know what the course is going to look like, but how much that challenges a driver compared to a road course or some of the other things? Is it, again, not being a driver, is going to be that significant of a learning curve, or look, you guys are the best of the best, it's no problem?
I mean, no, it's definitely going to be hard for sure. And I don't necessarily think the street, just because it's on the road of a street is going to be the biggest hurdle at first. So the biggest hurdle of a new road course is literally learning, like, what corner is coming next. Most places that we've been to, I feel like a lot of us have either watched on TV for a long time or have watched other series race at for a long time. So you already kind of have a general understanding of the layout. But when they're going to create one out of thin air that no one knows, or one you've never watched, that's going to take some studying and take some time to recognize the layout, understand the little unique pieces of it that can make you better than your competitors.
We'll go to Pat now.
Pat DeCola, NASCAR.com. Those waves that you mentioned earlier, how much are you guys in control there? Are you just along for the ride, or what exactly and how much is in the driver's control?
Well, I don't want to put myself, completely in charge of that, because it's very much a team effort. You can certainly create a lot of your own luck depending upon how well you prepare at the shop, the decisions you make and what setup you want to put underneath the car, how you execute when you get to the racetrack, the decisions I make on track throughout a race, how Alan calls a race. All of those factors can go into you creating whether or not you're going to or not going to have a good day. If you make all those right choices and you have some good fortune on track and things go your way, likely you're gonna be in for a good afternoon. So to me, the important piece of all that is just making sure we're maximizing the things in our control, and when you do that, you're certainly bettering your odds. You're not guaranteeing that the wave's going to go in your direction, but you're bettering your odds. And to me, that's what this deal is all about, is just doing the best of things that are in your hands. And, the rest is what it is, But certainly those choices that you make are crucial to having a good weekend regardless. Okay.
We'll go to Dustin, and then we will wrap up with Jana.
Dustin Albino, jski.com. Chase, you mentioned earlier how since your rookie year, you've kind of struggled here at New Hampshire. What is it about this place for you that's made it such a challenge?
Man, I don't know. It just very unlike any. I mean, it's not a short track in my opinion. I mean, it's still a mile, right? But just very flat. I didn't race at a ton of super flat tracks as I was short track racing. and the ones I did race at, I was never very successful at. I don't really know why. Just the, you know, my habits and kind of things I look for in the car just don't necessarily suit, you know, some of the things that you need, I think, to be really good here. So I've had to kind of readjust my approach and the things I want in the car and what is actually realistic and achievable in it, and what you're just not going to get. And I think, you know, for me, for most of my trips here, I've probably chased after unrealistic balance dreams that just aren't going to happen. And you know, I think at some point you got to recognize that. And I think I've recognized that. I don't exactly know what the road is to success, but I understand that there are things you're just not going to get. So, and I don't, you know, it might be a little different with this car, but I would say generally the guys who are good up here probably, if I had to bet, I would say are going to be good again. So we'll see.
We'll take a final question from Jana.
Jana Bardall with the Boston Globe. Not necessarily a racing question, but New Hampshire's been on the schedule for a while. Outside of the course, are there any places that you like to go while you're here?
I do enjoy this area in the summer. I think it's really nice. Long ways up here, but it's nice weather-wise. And I spent a little time in Boston. I went to a couple concerts there a few years ago. Enjoyed the town. Thought it was a neat city. I've always wanted to go to a Red Sox game. I wish they were in town. Saw Zach Brown was at Fenway last night after I already got to the track, so that was a bummer. Would have loved to have gone to see him, but yeah, you know, I enjoy the area. You know, it's not a place I've spent a ton of time at, but I do like coming up here.
All right. Well, thank you
Cool.
for your time, Chase.
Thanks.
Good luck this weekend.
Yep.